So is the Nintendo Switch 2 packaging too confusing compared to the Nintendo Switch 1 packaging? Well, I can't believe this is a conversation, but it is a conversation because this all started where Beat 'em Ups would tweet it out on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and it got like, at the time of recording this, it got like 4.3 million views. But he says, call me crazy, but this packaging is far too similar and a bit confusing for the general public, and you can see the side-by-side comparison. Now, when I seen this, I thought, you know what? He's got a point. It is kind of confusing for the general public, but there's a lot of responses on this tweet, on this post, that people are like, well, there's a massive 2 on the box. Like, hello, you know, it's pretty obvious. And then there's other people who are like, you know, anyone who thinks otherwise, basically like that it's not confusing, has clearly never worked retail. And here's the thing, right? It's the same. We had a similar conversation when the new 3DS XL came out, right? And there was this whole thing behind that, because you had like the DS, then you had the DSi, the DS, I think Lite, right? If I remember correctly. We had the 3DS, the new 3DS, new 3DS XL. We had the 2DS. We had the 2DS XL. There was this whole huge family of DS consoles. And it did get a little bit confusing, I think, for the general public. And here's the thing. A lot of people, especially people that are more casual, maybe parents that don't really play games a whole lot, you know, maybe they're coming into the store to try to buy a console for the kid for Christmas or something. I don't know. And they just really do know bare minimum about these things. And yeah, you'd be like, well, there's a giant 2 on the box. But the thing is, when you're just kind of looking at it at a glance, and this is kind of how it is, especially when you're looking at things, you know, on a shelf and stuff and products, you know, you would think like, yeah, okay, you got the big massive 2. It's pretty obvious, right? But you got the same Nintendo Switch logo besides the 2. It says Nintendo Switch. And for the average consumer, the average person just kind of walking in, general public, doesn't really know a whole lot about this sort of thing. And yeah, you'd be like, well, okay, come on. Anybody who can read would be able to see it. Yes, but when it comes to sort of like packaging and branding and stuff like this, it's weird how people's brains work. It's like almost like some people's brains just don't click and don't register the difference. They just look at this, or like, okay, they're both red boxes. They both say Nintendo Switch. They have a similar logo. Yes, one has a 2 on it, but when you're looking at the 2, they look very similar. You know, if you don't know a whole lot about the Switch and the Switch 2, they look similar. There's a device, like that looks like a tablet that's being docked. There's a controller that has some sort of grip, and one of the controllers is kind of sticking out. It is very, very, very similar, and I do think it's going to be a little too easy to get confused. I think they would have done well to switch up the packaging a little bit more, obviously, you know, for the general consumer, the general public, if you will.